Manchester United unbeaten in 4 games in all competitions.
Straight red. Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. It's a great flick on from Sarr, and Solanke knew it was coming.
We knew that it would take some time because how the window went. I think we will get better there, and yeah, we need some time.
Like, losing a game is bad. Losing a game at home is absolutely worse. And then losing at home to Spurs has got to be a line at the bottom that we have crossed today that we cannot look back at. Hello everybody and welcome back to Streamatrix. My name is Neil and you're back watching your future favorite football channel. Well, today was a bit of a roller coaster of a day if you're a Manchester United fan, because oh my god, what a performance that was. Like, oh my god, not in a good way, please. This has got to be the worst ever performance for Manchester United, to be honest. Today's game just showed lack of everything, lack of the want to win the ball, lack of the ability to pass through the midfield or on the wing, lack of finishing, lack of creating chances, lack of defensive measures, lack of goalkeeping saves. Like, I think today was a communal flop of this particular season. From injuries to yellow cards to passes not going through to everything that could go wrong in a football match, it went wrong today. And I think personally, this has got to go down as our worst performance of this season. We are going to discuss about the match with a bit more match stats as well. And if you're watching it, come down on chat, just like get in your thoughts. If you're a Manchester United fan, this is a space free for you to rant and show your frustration as well. But yeah, we will get to that. So let's quickly just open the stats up. Okay, so would you just look at that? I mean, just looking at that, it just feels right from the minute one, we just looked off. No matter it was while defending or getting a hold of the midfield or our attackers coming into play. Right from the beginning, we were not feeling very comfortable on the ball. I do not know what exactly happened. We played like we played a Thursday night game. It was that lethargic. It was that inconsistent on the ball. It was that it was the lack of awareness of where the players are on the field. There's so many times our backline pass, Delit, Martinez, Dalot, Mazraoui. I'm going to come to each and every single player in a bit, but like the way they were passing out from the back they were inviting more pressure from the Spurs players, and then they were just going on and on and on, and just that pressure was building up right through the midfield up until the front line. Let's just quickly look at how the match unfolded in terms of the timeline, and then we can go over to the match performances as well. So yeah, if you look here, we considered the first goal 3 minutes, and that goal was, so Rashford plays this ball thinking that Garnacho will get at the end of it, and then Garnacho decides to leave it for Rashford, and then Rashford decides to not tackle Van de Ven, and then Van de Ven runs all the way through the midfield up until the penalty line where Delit tries to engage but misses him. He puts a cross in front of the goal, and it's a tap in for Brennan Johnson, right? Now, a lot of people are going to get on the back of Rashford for not putting the tackle in, or for Delit for not being able to stop the cross. But I watched that goal back, and Dalot was marking Brennan Johnson up until the penalty box, and then Dalot just stopped running. I mean, did he just think that the ball is going to go out? I mean, you have to cover the attacker. You are a defender. You have to cover the attacker unless the ball goes out of play. I think Dalot was at a huge fault in that first goal. Now, if we move forward from that, I just want to count the number of yellow cards that our team has gotten this particular game. Mazraoui gets booked early on 34 minutes. Dalot gets booked early on 39 minutes. That's both of our fullbacks. And both of our fullbacks had a torrid time dealing with Timo Werner, Jed Spence, Udogie, Pedro Porro. I think Mazraoui was like, I cannot deal with all of these players, and there was no cover. It was just Mazraoui against them. There was nobody from the midfield coming out and helping him out. Like, I think that everybody in our team today were just upset with each other. They just didn't want to play with each other. It almost felt like. But anyways, after that, Bruno gets sent off at 42 minutes. I mean, that was such a petulant tackle by Bruno Fernandes. I mean, okay, so Bruno has not been having the best of the games in the past couple of games. A lot of chatter on Twitter has been that, Bruno should be dropped from the lineup. There's something off with Bruno right now. He's not hitting his right form. So he needs... I personally believe he needed to be brought back, substituted in the second half if he would not have gotten a red card, because he was having a torrid game. He could not get into tackles. He could not keep control of the ball. He could not pass along the ball to the front line accurately. That tackle that he did on James Maddison, I think James Maddison had already crossed him. There was no need for him. Yes, it was a soft red. It could have been just a yellow and just a cautionary card that could have been shown to him. But if the on-field decision was yellow, I don't think the VAR would have turned it to be a red, because yes, his foot is up and hits Maddison on the shin, but it's not starts showing. So hence it would not have been overruled if the on-field decision was yellow. Is that what I personally believe? But am I absolutely mad at the referee for giving this a red card? No, I'm not. If you tackle that recklessly, you give that option to the referee to produce a red. There was absolutely no need for that tackle there. And Bruno now he's going to miss 3 games. Of course, for that tackle, Mount has to come on and Menu goes off. Initially, I thought that that's just a substitution that Ten Hag is making. But Menu goes off injured because he goes straight into the tunnel. So I think that he must have pulled something. I don't think it's going to be very serious. In the first half, they scored within 3 minutes. In the second half, Spurs scored within 2 minutes. 47 minutes and Kulusevski gets the goal. And it's such a stupid goal to concede. De Ligt chases the attacker and then he puts in a good dive and the ball just bounces off of De Ligt and it falls onto Kulusevski, who just taps it over Onana. Now, first I thought it was an unsavable goal, right? That it was just over Onana, so he couldn't have saved it. But when you look back at it, Onana's reflex and response time is so delayed. The time it takes for him to just put his hands up and watch the ball fly over, it's crazy. Like, he doesn't have good reflexes. He's not a good goal stopper for the team. I think it's a difficult save. I agree. I'm not saying that all the goalkeepers are going to save it, but goalkeepers of teams like Liverpool and Man City and Arsenal and Chelsea and Aston Villa, these goalkeepers, all of them would give everything to save it. Onana feels like he just half-heartedly goes into those saves. He just saves the shots which he knows he can. Otherwise, he does not even try. Now, do I think that after going down to 10 men, would that be a disadvantage to Manchester United? Of course it will be. But then when you look back at start of the second half, we didn't start like we had no intent. Spurs went down to 10 men and then they won the game. I think this was in their Europa League match that they won 3-0. So if you go down to 10 men, you have to have a formation, you have to have an idea. Your entire team needs to be in sync. They need to be thinking alike, because that is how you're going to defend and attack together as a team. But that simply just did not happen. Alright, then we were trying to get a hold of the game, but by then Spurs already were trying to get into the back foot. We make a few changes. Eriksen comes on, Højlund comes on. I think taking off Rashford and putting Højlund there really sort of took away from any other attacking options that we had left. It wasn't Rashford's fault we conceded 2 goals. It wasn't Rashford's fault only that we were not able to create chances. So I personally think having Højlund and Rashford both might have been to our advantage. Garnacho did not have a good game. Yes, he was looking a bit more livelier than the other attackers, but I don't think he particularly had a good game. Then Spurs made a few changes. They brought in all their youngsters. Comes in, Solanke gets the goal, a tap in. I don't know how we defend our corners. We got a new set piece coach. And Rene Hake, I don't know what he's doing, because the corner comes in and the Spurs players just tips it over with his head for Solanke to get a tap in at the back post. And again, this is not how elite teams should play. I think it was pretty much game over. Towards the end, Spurs just had given up. They did not really want to put any other pressure. They didn't want to get their players injured, so they're just taking the foot off the gas. We were controlling in the latter half of the games. We took a couple of shots. Martinez took a couple of shots. But overall, it was just a very, 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 very disappointing performance today. And I don't know, there's no redemption here, right? Nobody can hide. nobody, not even Ten Hag, no one can hide saying that, it was just a bad day. It was not a bad day. As being a Manchester United team, players, manager, you are not allowed to have these kind of bad days. Like this is not how you're supposed to be when you're playing for Manchester United. But any which ways, let's look at our individual play ratings. I'm not going to go into the Spurs ratings much. I honestly think they could have scored even a couple of more goals, to be honest. So yeah, I don't think that there is any need to go to the Spurs ratings. They played really well, and that reflects in the overall ratings as well. As you can see here, the Spurs has gotten a 7-star rating, and we've got only a 6.0. How we have gotten a 6 rating, I have no idea. As a team, we should have gotten like 5 or maybe 4.5. But anyways, let's look at the performances. Let's come to Onana. So he had 7 saves versus 2 for Vicario, and it's not Onana's fault that we were conceding so many chances. It was the fault of our midfield and our defense. Onana did not look comfortable on the ball as well, passing out from the back. They were putting real good pressure. So yeah, that was Onana. I don't think Onana had much to contribute in any which ways. I personally think he could have saved 1 goal, but even then we would have lost the game 2-0. It's not his fault that we were not able to score goals up front, or create chances. So he could have saved one goal is what I feel. We could have lost 2-0, but apart from that, he made a few with a one-on-one with Timo Werner. He made an excellent save. So he did redeem himself in few passages of the play. But overall, I think Onana's game was okayish. I would have given him a 6.5. Here it's 6.9. So that's for Onana. Diogo Dalot. I think this is Dalot's worst performance in Manchester United colours. I have not seen him out of pace, out of position, unable to mark defenders, unable to pass the ball through the lines. I have not seen this kind of a Dalot in any of our previous games, at least in the last couple of seasons. He has been our most consistent player, and he is filling in as a left back. But even in that left back position, he's had a very consistent performance. So I have no idea how Dalot ended up with this kind of a performance. It was absolutely like, I think Dalot deserves a 5 or a 5.5. He didn't have an average game to get a 6.2. So I personally feel that I would rate Dalot 5.5 maybe, because I have a soft corner for him. But the first goal, he should have marked Brennan Johnson till the end. He gave up in between. If he would have marked him till the end, we might not have conceded that goal. So yeah, I think that Dalot was at fault for a lot of our play today. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 5.5. Here is 6.2. He also got a yellow card, made a silly tackle, and he got a yellow card. Anyways, next is Martinez. I have not seen Martinez being this rattled in a game. He just did not look comfortable on the ball, off the ball, reading the play, reading the run of attackers. I have no idea what went on with Martinez, because overall, I personally feel that Martinez has been our most reliable centre back. And when we were down to 10 men, he was moving up in the midfield a lot, trying to control the play. And I understand that as when you're a man down, you would have to fill in multiple roles. But before that, even I think Martinez was not able to read the attackers in the right way, and same goes for De Ligt. I think both of them, I would give them a 6. De Ligt got a 6, Martinez at 6.9. I would rate both of our defenders, the central defenders, 6. De Ligt had misplaced so many passes today. Yes, I said that he did his best to try and stop the cross to come to Brennan Johnson for the first goal, but he should have gotten there in the end. He should have at least gotten a touch on the ball. That the way he tried to prevent the second goal, but then it unfortunately landed on Kulusevski, because nobody was marking Kulusevski again. There was nobody feeling. Our players don't like to track back. They do not like to come back and help their defenders, and defenders are often outnumbered. So I'm going to rate both our central defenders 6 and 6. Mazraoui is going to be a 5.5 again. I think Timo Werner just had him on his toes. He could not read Timo Werner's runs. He could not read Timo Werner's attack sense. He could not cover field for De Ligt. He could not come back on time. There were so many times we were outrun by the attackers of Spurs. It almost felt like, thankfully, Son was out injured. Otherwise, it could have easily been a 6-0. If Son was playing out on the left wing against Mazraoui today, Son would, he would run riots. So we are blessed as Manchester fans that Son did not play today, did not end up playing today. But yeah, Ugarte and Menu lacked physicality in the midfield. As soon as Casemiro came on, I personally felt there was a bit more of centeredness. But again, Ugarte needs time to be able to get up to pace with the mentality of the midfield. The tackles that he was making constantly, he was always behind the ball. He was again, Ugarte had very good couple of games in the last couple of games, but today he was not being able to control the midfield with a midfield of. Okay, so when you're playing Bruno in the midfield, Bruno, Ugarte, and Menu. Bruno, is not going to stick to his position. He's going to run all over the field. And then you have Ugarte and Menu, where Menu has been given the responsibility to be sort of a box-to-box defender. So it's basically Ugarte's job to protect the back two. And when you're playing against an attacking Spurs, you can play a double pivot. Spurs player, Arsenal player double pivot with Rice and Thomas Partey. Why can't you play a double pivot as Manchester United? But any which ways, Ugarte and Menu was okay. Again, neither of them stood out. I think Ugarte was at fault of not tracking back when absolutely needed to cover the defenders. So I'm going to give both Ugarte and Menu an average 6.6. Rashford, I don't know what he did. I think Rashford tried to take on a couple of times, but once he just ran the ball. Once he couldn't put the cross in. So I have no idea what happened to what exactly Rashford's role was. He had an average game. He had no impact on goal creating, not goal. I would say he was somewhat at fault while conceding the first goal because he just gives up against Van de Ven. He could have tracked back. So yeah, for that, and I think he could have maybe created a couple of chances for Zirkzee in between. So I think overall, I agree with this 6. Maybe I'll just give him an average 6, 6.5. Bruno, again, 5.1. I think I'm going to give Bruno a 4.1 today. I'm going to give him a 4 rating. Bruno was not passing the ball correctly. Bruno's overall positioning sense today, the passing, the attacking play, trying to get control of the game, he was just not there. So he gets a 4-star from me because that red was a very, very silly challenge. That red was a petulant challenge by Bruno, and it was absolutely not needed. So yeah, I think I'm going to give Bruno a 4. Garnacho hit the post, hit the bar once, and that was a good take on the volley. He tried to take another couple of shots. Didn't really get through. I think the best chance that we had was through Eriksen's ball in when Højlund tried to get at the back of it, and also when one header that Casemiro missed from our corner. I think those were a couple of chances that we would have, if he would have, and Zirkzee, of course, where he tried to tap the ball in, tried to guide the ball in. I think he could have just taken one touch and then, slammed it at the top corner, but he decided to just, guide the ball, and Vicario got there. So yeah, barring those 3 chances, I don't remember. Like, you need to create more chances to be able to score goals any which ways. I feel like I've just been ranting. Like, if you want to rant, you can put it on the chats in the comments as well. And if you are as pained as I am as a Manchester United fan, maybe just give this video a like and just join the channel, because we can maybe rant together in the future. But then today's game was so disappointing. Garnacho was the only one I felt like was trying to make something happen in the attack, but even he was off his game. He could not get the best of Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro had his number all the game. So yeah, I don't think he also had a good game. So I'm going to give him an average 6, just like Menu, Ugarte, and Rashford. And Zirkzee, I'm going to give him a 5.5. He should have put that ball at the back of the net first chance that he got. And then overall, his defending, he was not able to get the header in. He was not having a good impact on the play any which way. So I don't think that Zirkzee would be an average 5.5, below average. As far as our subs go, Diallo again came in at the last minute. Ahmad didn't really have much to do. Mount gone off injured. I don't know now how many days he's going to be off for, because it's a head injury. His head split open. Højlund didn't have any impact. I think the only chance he had was from that Eriksen's crossing. And other than that, I think that Rashford should have stayed on, because Højlund didn't add anything to this game. Eriksen, again, he came on towards the latter half of the game. He did have more of the ball, but that is only because Spurs took a foot off the gas. But yeah, apart from that, Casemiro, again, I think Casemiro coming on was needed. And I think that was a substitution I was rooting for. I thought instead of Mount, Casemiro should have come on at that particular time, because we were just trying to get to half time. So anyways, Casemiro had a decent game. He had a header that he could have made better use of, at least got it on target. And overall, I think he tried to play a couple of passes in through to the attack. He was trying to fight at least. I'm going to give him a 6.25. If he would have gotten the header in, I think I would have given a 6.5 maybe, but yeah, 6.25, just above average compared to Rashford, Garnacho, and Mainu and Ugarte. So yeah, that's my take on it, because this has been one of the worst games that I've seen in Manchester United colours. But anyways, let's look at the stats first. Total shots, they had 24 shots and we had 11. So that's crazy. They had double the shots than us. Pass success, our passing was horrendous. We could not land a short pass, leave alone long passes. I don't know what was wrong with our passing today, and everybody was off their faces. It's like everybody went out partying last night and they woke up hungover and they were asked to play the match tonight, because nobody could stick a pass. Nobody could stick a leg out for a good tackle. Nobody could stick a pass. Now let's look at the match report. Set piece, they had more than us, of course. Counter attack, they had 4, we had 0. Like when you're 10 man down and you still can't construct a counter attack, you really have to question the way your attackers are playing. Thankfully, the shot conversion of Tottenham was so bad. They had 3 goals from 24 shots. If their shot conversion was anywhere in the 20%, we would be 5-0. This game could have ended easily. I've been talking about it for a long time now, but again, this is something that I don't expect from Manchester United. Now, when I'm coming to Ten Hag, I feel is definitely in danger. I don't think Ten Hag has a place to hide right now.
We all there on one page, on one boat, together. The ownership, the leadership group, the staff, and the players group as well. So no, I don't have that concern.
Right. Manchester United, we are in 12th position. After 6 games, we are below Fulham, we are below Newcastle, we are below Brighton, we are below Forest, we are below Brentford, and in fact, if Bournemouth win their next match, they will go above us as well. So we will be below Bournemouth as well. So, being in 12th and fighting with the relegation teams is not a good look for Ten Hag and his men. I personally feel it's not going to go good if we are not able to turn it around massively. And by that, what I mean is that we go and win our next 6-7 games and we win it by a goal difference of 2 or 3 every game. Because if we don't do that, I don't see how Ten Hag survives this season. Because yes, the management has given him a backing. Yes, the management has said that Ten Hag is the right man for the job. But if this is the way we get humiliated by teams and lose in this condition where the players are not even putting in the effort to play for the manager, leave alone for the badge, they don't even want to play for themselves. So if this is the way the team ends up playing, I don't see how Ten Hag survives this season. I honestly don't want him to get sacked. Did not want him to get sacked when the season started. And I wanted the 3rd season under him. And I think Ineos did a better, smarter move by just extending the contract and not giving him a new contract of another 3 years. Because no matter what, as a Manchester United manager, you can say that you've won 2 trophies, and he's absolutely correct. 2 trophies back-to-back seasons, and I think no other manager has done it since Alex Ferguson. So for him to do that, it's great. But with all due respect, it's FA Cup and Carabao Cup. It's not the European Championships. It's not the Premier League. As Manchester United, you are expected to win the bigger trophies. Yes, we can banter Arsenal fans that, oh, look at your team and we won more trophies than you. Clearly, if you look at the table, they are way ahead of us. We are literally half the points. Arsenal have played 6 and have had 14 points, and we have played 6 and have 7 points. We have more losses than wins. So that is a really bad start for Ten Hag. Again, it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, it's bad considering the place where we want to be, but it's not all doom and gloom. It's something that we can hopefully turn it around. And for today, I'm going to give Ten Hag a 5. I don't think he had the right starting 11. I think Ahmad and Casemiro should have kept their place. I don't think his subs were right. When Bruno went on, Casemiro should have come on just to give a control of the game and give another person in the midfield. I don't think his instructions to his fullbacks were right for them to just always carry on, because Spurs play with pace and you cannot play against pace with only 2 central defenders defending the goal line. you will always be outrun, because there will always be a couple of wingers and a striker trying to attack in from the top elite teams, and they will end up in a 3 versus 2 all the time. And that happened a lot of times in this game as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to give him a solid 5.5. And that has a very bad look on Ten Hag. If this kind of a form continues, and if he's not able to turn it around massively, I don't see how he survives even Christmas, for that matter. So yeah, very, very, very challenging time for Ten Hag and the team. And hopefully, as Manchester United fans, we will have something to cheer, something to hopefully look forward to in the next upcoming matches. So yeah, I personally feel that this has been a very disappointing start. I think it was not that great for Manchester United fans, losing to Spurs at home with 10 men. I think that's today's game was definitely nowhere near it. And I feel like there's been in my reaction as well, as I discussed, there can be bad days at the helm. There can be bad days on the field, but even then you need to give your 100%. Even if not 100%, give at least 80%. But the players today did not look like they really cared about playing the match today to their best abilities. So I do think that today was a bit of a lacking day. But hopefully we can bounce back in our next Europa League fixture, which is coming up next week. I will see you then. Good night, take care, and see you in the next one.